Hello everybody, my name is Zach, aka the Weather Gamer, bringing you Season 7 of SBT, Draft Recap for your Chicago Charizards. We are in the Rivals Division this season, which is, they added a 5th division. So last season I was in the, which division was I in last season? Because they changed everything around. Hang on, I'm checking Conquerors, Victors, Guardians, Challengers. I was in the Challengers division last season. So the Rivals is in between Challengers and Guardians. It's basically the new D-League, if I understand it correctly. So we're still down in D-League, but we are back. So full disclosure, I was not really paying attention to this draft. When it was happening, I had a plan, and that plan was the same plan for PMC somehow. So I started drafting along the same lines, and then things kind of happened where my parents told me I had to move 2 weeks sooner than I was supposed to into my new apartment, so I started dealing with getting everything packed up and moved and working and, you know, just a whole storm of things. Going on. And, I did not pay attention too much to this draft, so full disclosure, that's where we sit. But I am going to try to, you know, do what I can to keep this game, or keep this team rolling. And I'm glad to be back in SBT. So we ended up with the 5th pick, I think, if I remember correctly. I think I was 5th pick. I was either 5th or 6th. So, I drafted Zeraora again. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. Gen 8 Draft League, 14-2, NCL, 16-7, currently 2-1 in, I can't think of what league it is. Until somebody shuts this down with me, I'm gonna keep drafting it, you know? Yeah, maybe it's boring for you guys to watch, and I apologize for that, but I love Zeraora. It is my ace. It is truly the best mon that I have in Draft League format, and I am enjoying the hell out of it. You know, it just functions so well on teams, and it just decimates opponents if they're not ready for it. I mean, if you don't have a Zeraora check, you're just kind of screwed. So, I took this, and I'll own up to it. I love it, and I'm not going to say anything more because I've drafted it 4 times or 5 times in the last 6 drafts. So, ready for more Zeraora. Now, going into round 2, Garchomp got sniped. I told you I had the exact same plan here as I did in PMC because I was just getting my draft. I had PMC, this, BRL, and was just finishing PBAL's draft. So I had a lot of drafts going on, and my brain was getting very confused. I was going to take Garchomp. Garchomp got sniped. I knew it wasn't going to make it back to me, so then I was going to take Megachomp, because Swords Dance Scale Shot, giving Megachomp the speed boost that it needs, just sounded so tempting, and alas, Megachomp got sniped too. I'm still not wanting to use Hydreigon and Haxorus and all that, because I've used them so much. So I went and picked up Salamence. Now I know Salamence round 2, a lot of people are going to criticize me for taking it early, but I did not want a dragon that I wanted to use to get away from me, so I grabbed Salamence. I've never used standard Salamence. I've only ever used Mega Salamence, so We'll see how Standard Salamence goes. I know it's viable as a Dragon Dance sweeper. I mean, obviously it is if Uber, for its Mega, its base form can do it. Moxie and Intimidate are two really good abilities. And this thing actually got a very nice buff on the special side too. It already had a very good special move pool, if you didn't know that. Its special attack stats not that bad either. It's a base 100 Mon. But it has Hydro Pump, Draco Meteor, Fire Blast, and now on the special side it got Hurricane for Flying Stab as well, making it just that much more of a potent, threatening wall breaker. Scarf sets, Spec sets, Banded sets, Life Orb sets, and you can even run, you know, Intimidate Defensive Ments because of Gen 3. What game was it? XD Gale of Darkness. Salamence got access to Wish because of the old games, so it actually can be a Wish passer too, which is kind of interesting to think about. So, but yeah, we picked up Salamence here. Salamence and Zeraora are a very potent offensive pairing in my mind. Zeraora walled by grasses, Salamence takes those out. Salamence doesn't like rock and ice types. Zeraora can break those with close combat. Zeraora doesn't like ground types. Salamence can take those out by being airborne. So I think they make good synergy. And speaking of Wish Passers, Sylveon. So I've been going back and forth with Sylveon and Togekiss quite a bit lately. They're like the two fairy types that I've been using the most right now. I'm starting to lean towards enjoying Sylveon a little more. Togekiss and Togetic, they both just require you to carry a secondary fairy because Dazzling Gleam being their strongest fairy type attack, just, I don't know, it's just not good. But Sylveon, I've been able to do a lot with it in Gen 8, the GA DL. I've been enjoying it in PMC, or not PMC, what's the one, PBL, or PBAL, I've been enjoying it, so I'm going to keep using Sylveon here. Fantastic Wish Passer. It's very bulky on the SPDF and the defense side. It can be made bulky physically. It's a nice Wish Passer and Cleric all around. It's not just a defensive mon, you know, there's Calm Mindsets, there's I'm trying to think of the other set. Spec sets, so this thing can be very, very nice. And it can be built to take out Dragapult. Granted, Dragapult is banned in SBT, so don't have to worry about it running around, but you get the idea. Coming out of that, I drafted Mega Gyarados. This is a Mega that I've been wanting to get back to for a long time and just keep drafting other Megas. Plus, I didn't really know what to do for a Mega at this point. Obviously, Mega Gyarados Dragon Dance sets are really nice. It struggled to break bulky waters in Gen 7, giving that thing Power Whip, not so much a problem. Electric types, I've got Zeraora to take care of it. And the fact that we don't have to first turn Mega, it allows you to play some mind games. I get a second Intimidator, a second Moxie booster, but it does allow me to play mind games. You know, do I go for the setup as the water flying type versus a fairy type trying to come in on me and not Mega-ing so I can, you know, not die to a Moonblast, versus do I Mega and not take a T-Bolt 4 times to the face. So we'll see how it goes. Mold Breaker, obviously a fantastic ability, and ignoring other abilities. It gives me another wall breaker on this team. All the steel types start flying off the draft board, so I settled for Registeel. I don't know how long Registeel is going to stay on the roster. I'm not really a big fan of any of the Reggies. And there might be better steel types out in free agency. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Registeel, so I don't really have a lot to say about it other than it's a nice defensive wall, both physically and specially. So it gives Sylveon a little bit of flexibility as to what it can do. Picked up Virizion next. So, I've only ever drafted this one time. It's in G8 DL. And I love it. It can run physical, it can run special, it can set up with Calm Mind, it can set up with Bulk Up. It basically is a very flexible mon, and it was very cheap at 7 points. I thought that was a steal for Virizion. Gives me a nice base 108 speed stat, so if I can fill a little bit closer to the 120s between Zero Aura and this thing, my speed stats will be looking really nice. And this is just the thing I like about my team is, for the most part, it's very, very flexible. You know, Zero Aura has physical and special sets. Salamence has physical and special sets. Virizion now has physical and special sets. So I can kind of cater this team to what I need, depending on if I run into physical walls or special walls. It gives me the flexibility there. So up next we take Cinderace. So I think Cinderace is the worst Gen 8 starter from a design aspect, and have never really been a big fan of it, other than I like Score Bunny. But I know this thing can be a very powerful wall breaker. It does give me some hazard control besides Salamence, because Court Change. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. This is Blaze only. It is obviously not Libero, otherwise I wouldn't be drafting it in round 8, 7, whatever, round 7. So it'll be interesting to see. I know Scarf sets, Banded sets, Life Orb sets. Its move pool is not massive, but it does have enough tools for what it needs to do. You know, High Jump Kick, Pyro Ball, Sucker Punch, U-Turn. Bulk Up sets can be very tricky. It does get, if you have like a physically defensive bulky water type, it does get Electro Ball. Granted, its special attack stat is not that great, but it's still, you know, tech is tech. So we'll see. I'm excited to try it and see how this goes. There's a lot of mons here that, you know, I've never tried. Well, there's not a lot of mons I've never tried. There's a lot of mons I've been wanting to try for a while, and I'm glad to get them. Rhyperior is back again. I think I also have it in BRL, so, you know, I needed a ground type, needed rock type, needed the stealth rocker besides Registeel. Gives me another physical defensive wall, another really massive physical attacker. Solid Rock obviously is its best ability, and, you know, taking 3/4 damage from a hit, so yeah, it's very, very good on the defensive stealth rocking setup or set. And don't sleep on the weakness policy rock polish set. That could come into play at some point this season. Taking Frostlass here. Spikes, Ice and Ghost typing, base 110 speed stat. Really, at the end of the draft, I was just like, I need to just fill out my type cores and try to deal with hazards a little bit, so that's where Frostlass came in. Fun fact, it did get Poltergeist, so it can run physical and special sets because they're exactly the same attack stats. So it, again, gives me a little bit of flexibility in what I do. Venomoth. Fun fact, Venomoth gets Defog. It also gets Teleport, which is really interesting, so I can slow Teleport with Venomoth. Obviously, Tinted Lens, Quiver Dance sets are the big sets that are run with it, but with Heavy Duty Boots, it could become a decent form of hazard control, which I really don't have on this team. My hazard control is very, very weak on this team. And last but not least, we'll give it a try. You know, double evolutions is something that I've done quite frequently and had moderate success with. We'll give Espeon another try. I've not had a lot of success with it in the past. It just has not been a good mon for me. But maybe with this team, it'll work out. I now have 2 clerics as well, which is nice because if Sylveon has a terrible matchup, but Espeon has a good matchup, I can, sub Espeon in for cleric standpoints. I can use it for screens, obviously Magic Bounce to send statuses back. And then, Espeon does get Wish, and it's not the size of the Wish, it's how you use it. Even a little bit of chip, or a little bit of recovery, I Wish Pass into Zeraora, and Zeraora takes rocks damage, and then heals back up, and then can sweep. So, that's going to be the team. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys for week 1.